Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where we get better at Magic together through a new draft every day, and today I'm so excited to jump into another draft of Secrets of Strixhaven. Let's go. Alright, pack one, pick one. Now this is very interesting. So stock up, a card I've known and loved for many a year, ever since it was first printed. They're an Ether Drift. So that is a very safe, extremely strong pick. Can't go wrong with a stock up. But what are you, Wildgrowth Archaic? Clearly a Converge payoff, but I'm not sure I've played with this specific one. Right, okay, so this is the one, Trample Reach. It enters with a +1/+1 counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it, which could be up to 4. When you cast a creature spell, that creature enters with X additional +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast it. Well, I would be thrilled to play that card. It looks extremely strong. As much as I would like a stock up, I think it's a good idea to experiment with these rares, especially given that we have a Win-a-Box weekend happening this weekend. I want to play with more different cards. There's a Paradox Surveyor, Pursue the Past, stock up. So we're passing some good stuff. But hey, you can't pick every card out of a pack, can you? That's not how this works. Okay, Planar Engineering. I mean, I haven't played the Converge deck yet, and I'm excited to play it. Usually a card like Planar Engineering is not where it's at. You don't really want to be doing cards that find lands on turn 4 and don't affect the board. Having said that, I don't know. There was a card like this. Forgive me if you're not a Ninja Turtler. There was a card like this in Ninja Turtles that actually was, you know, at least playable or a very useful piece for the Everything Pizza deck, the 5-color payoff of that format. And if I want to get experience with this deck, doesn't it make sense to just kind of go for it? I think it does. Okay, so there was the Boros uncommon that grabs you in instant and gives it flashback or sorcery from your graveyard that I think is a low-key bomb. But I kind of just want to take the Planar Engineering and see if I can end up in this lane. I wouldn't recommend drafting like this with a lot of money on the line, but with the Win-a-Box event on the weekend, I just want to have more experience with more cards. So here, unless proven otherwise, I'm going to take a Studious first year, noting that there's also a Paradox Garden and a Terramorphic Expanse in the pack, all of which makes me think that I have some opportunity to dabble in the Converge deck. Let's see what Nita does. When you cast a spell you don't own, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. I'm guessing it gives you a way to get spells you don't own. Sacrifice another creature, exile an instant or sorcery card from an opponent's graveyard. You may cast it this turn. It looks a little dirtily. I'm sure it has a very high power ceiling, but it doesn't seem to have a very high power floor. They could just not have an instant or sorcery in their graveyard. I'm going to take the Studious first here. This card's just always awesome, and I'm clearly drafting with a strong preference here. A strong preference to just be in the Converge deck. Okay, so there's a Fractal Tender, which is a card that I like because it has Ward attached. You tend to get to increment it, and when you do increment it, it's a 3/3 and another 3/3 for 5 mana. So that's just a good piece of cardboard, I think. There is also a Tragedy Feaster, and that could be a cool, I mean, I assume the point of the Converge deck is you get to play all of the stuff that other people aren't playing. So Tragedy Feaster is a rare, but at the beginning of your end step, you do have to sacrifice a permanent unless you gain life this turn. Usually in the late game, that could just be a land that you're sacrificing. But you know what? I said I'm going for Converge. Why don't I go for Converge? Let me take the Rancorous Archaic. This card should be good if I can have a few different types of lands. There's also a Bite spell that I wouldn't have minded picking up. But yeah, why don't we just go for Converge? We said that's what we're doing. Here, I kind of want to take one of the dual lands. I don't know how much better or worse are the rare lands than the common lands. Someone's probably put out a theory video on that. I kind of want to just take, I don't know I actually have not drafted the Converge deck yet, so I'm not totally sure what you're supposed to do. Disdainful Stroke and Unsubtle Mockery are both respectful pieces of interaction, and I believe this deck is usually centered in Temur. Having said that, having more lands that can tap for more types of mana seems really important. So I think I'm going to go for the lands here. And I'm going to guess that the Surveil lands might just be better. Although this does give you an extra pip the moment it shows up. Okay, well this one's less replaceable. So maybe I can just get some experience playing with both the untapped lands and the tapped lands. Ideally in the Converge deck, if that's what I get to do. And it's looking pretty open, right? Terramorphic Expanse is a good one to see. But I think Paradox Surveyor is not exactly a better version of the same effect. But I think this is just a nice body stapled onto Find a Land. Also, it goes very nicely with Terramorphic Expanse because that gives you another chance to hit a mana of whatever type you're looking for in the top 5. I will also say don't hate Borrowed Knowledge, don't hate Visionary's Dance, don't hate Abigail, don't even hate Zimone's Experiment or Zealous Lorecaster. This is just a good pack overall. I would probably take the Terramorphic Expanse if I had 2 picks, if this were suddenly a pick 2 draft. But alas, for me, it is not. Okay, so I could take Terrafractal, not a very good card. I actually think maybe I just want the Brush Off. The only thing about Brush Off that gives me pause is that it is 2 blue pips, although it can sometimes be just 1 blue pip. I think I'm going to go with Brush Off over Terrafractal. Yeah, I think that sounds right to me. It's just a better card. Oh, Harmonized Trio. I love this card. This just has a Brainstorm stapled onto it. It is a little hard to do the tapping a bunch of different creatures, but I had an Is It aggro deck actually at Friday Night Magic that ran one of these, and I was really happy with it. Also love Deduce, also would love to have Terramorphic Expanse, and would love to have Forum of Amity, so, and might even run Procrastinate. So it's looking really good. Our lane is looking super open. Here's a Rancorous Archaic. Do I take the Enabler or the Payoff? Probably at this stage the Enabler. I wouldn't mind cutting the Converge payoff here just to send clear signals, but I think cutting Paradox Surveyor seems like a clear enough signal. It's hard for someone to go Converge after that. Wow, Run Behind is in this pack. What are you doing in here, Run Behind? I didn't expect to wheel you. On the other hand, I could take a Rapturous Moment, draw 3, discard 2, add a bunch. I don't hate that. I mean, look, this actually adds multiple red. Oh, but you actually need a red to make it happen. I think I kind of want the Rapturous Moment. Run Behind, we get another Run Behind. I think I take that over. Do I take that over Terramorphic Expanse? Probably. I think the bounce seems... I just think Run Behind is so good. And if we're wheeling this Terramorphic, hey, maybe we'll wheel the next Terramorphic Expanse. Oh my goodness, we wheeled a Fractal Tender. Well, I'm very happy with that. I guess Simic is like not playing out so great. Here I might just say Quick Study over Terrafractal. Terrafractal is a win condition though, and this deck is trying to do big stuff. Hurts me to pass a Quick Study last pick, which sends a horrible signal. So I do worry that we're in one of those spots where the person to our right will now think that Simic or blue is wide open. But here I'm just happily going to take a Geometer's Arthropod. I mean, the whole X-Spell thing I think is not playing out that great, but while I'm here, I might as well do it, right? I'd rather have that than Campus Composer, Hydro Channeler. I guess maybe a super good Disciplined Drafter might take Terramorphic Expanse. So, you know, I mean, I could be wrong to be passing that. Honestly, the way things are going, do you think I could just wheel the Geometer's Arthropod? Maybe I could wheel the Terramorphic Expanse. We just did, didn't we? So yeah, maybe that's what I'm doing. Oh, hello, Exhibition Tidecaller. One of my favorite cards in the whole format. It just mills the opponent for 10 on Opus. Yeah, I'm in. This is a top bomb in the format. Okay, so the person got past a Quick Study, but didn't take an Exhibition Tidecaller. That makes me feel a lot better. That feels like they got the Quick Study, but it wasn't enough to pull them into blue. Also, look at this. We have a Homesickness and an Additive Evolution. This is going great. And another Dual Land. And a Wander Off. I'd happily play that. And the Bite Spell as well. This is going really, really well. This is exactly what you're looking for. Look, I have 3 premium 1-drops already. Okay, here I'll just take the Rancorous Archaic. I mean, I wouldn't hate taking in a Road. Technically, I could destroy my own like Studious First here and fetch a basic land. So this is like a better... this is like a Terramorphic Expanse, a worse Terramorphic Expanse, I guess. But I think if I'm saying I'm doing Converge, then I should do Converge. I mean, Erode is lovely and everything, but I already prioritized removal over fixing. So let's just make sure that we have a responsible amount of payoffs here for the deck type that we're claiming to be in. And here, I think I just take a Shared Roots. Conciliator's Duelist would be a nice payoff for a 4-color, 5-color deck. But the double pip of 2 different colors is basically not castable unless you are specifically in those colors. So I will definitely just be snapping up a Shared Roots. It's a great card. Paradox Gardens would be good as well, but I just want the Shared Roots here. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to be happy with it. And if everything goes amazingly, cards I'd like to wheel include Banishing Betrayal, Rapturous Moment, Paradox Garden, Visionary's Dance. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm just going to snap up Shared Roots. All right, what do we have here? Infirmary Healer I don't hate. I actually haven't looked at the stats on how this card is going. But I kind of like it with the Geometer's Arthropod, for example. It might just be that Run Behind is better, though. But 2-3 for 2 is not bad, and this keeps you alive into the late game. I want to see how the Infirmary Healer is doing. I wouldn't be surprised if this one's low in the stats and people are not having great experiences with it. But, you know, I think it's worth trying one more time for me, for where I am at with that card. It seems particularly good in this archetype. I do love a run behind though. That would be the safe pick. If I were playing for money there, probably would have gone for the run behind. Here we have a very safe pick of just snapping up a Terramorphic Expanse. Here's a 2-drop of whatever. Emil is not so good as I thought. I initially dramatically underestimated it, which then caused me to slightly overestimate it. Now I'm at the point where I'm reluctant to play it in a deck, unless you're doing some kind of really cool +1/+1 counter synergy. Applied Geometry pick 7. Holy smokes, everybody. This is a 6/6 for 4 and then some. If you go back, there's a video a few videos ago that's something like, the thumbnail is like my favorite combo in Strixhaven or something like that. I copied the Zealous Lore Master. When it enters, you return an instant or sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. And I was just looping applied geometries, infinite 6/6s. You make one, bring the thing back, make another one, bring the thing back, and so on. So yeah, no, and you don't even need to be doing that kind of a thing for this to be an extremely good card. Okay, copy it, +2/+4. I'm not really that kind of a person. I think I might just want the Tenured Concoctor. I'm not sure that this is, it's probably not very good, but I think you always want to just be putting stats on the board by that point in the game in this deck. I could technically take an Abstract Paint Mage. That doesn't sound very good for me. So why don't I take a Hydro Channeler? It keeps you alive, and Hydro Channeler lets you do turn 3 applied geometry, if that's your kind of thing you like to do. Okay, here I'm just absolutely taking a Homesickness. I do want ways of triggering Opus. With the Exhibition Tidecaller, I would like 3+, ideally 4+ ways of triggering Opus. And those are expensive slots in your deck, so you want to make them count. I think I want the Homesickness more than I want the Bite spell, because I am substantially a ramp deck. Look, with a Shared Roots, a Hydro Channeler, a Studious First Year, and I have the Planar Engineering. I think, oh, and look, we did wheel the Visionary's Dance, which is nice. That's a way of triggering Opus, and you can discard it to find the mana source that you want, because it has a colorless better than cycling ability. Wow. Okay, so we could have maybe been Is It, but I think we're in the right lane. Anyways, with all that ramp going on, I want to lean towards slightly more expensive things than you normally would do, because otherwise your ramp is just completely wasted. I'll send Accurate Signals by taking a green uncommon out of this pack, and I already have my deck, honestly. I honestly already have a deck that I would be happy with. Okay, very interesting choice here. People who have more experience with this, let me know what you would do, because there's a Mana Sculpt, the cancel variant. There's a green-blue land, Sleight of Hand, Snarl Song, which is a Converge payoff, Essence Scatter, and Cuboid Colony, another dual land, Strixhaven Sky Coach, which enables having all these different colors. For me, I think I'm going to take Snarl Song because I kind of want to do the Converge thing. I kind of want Converge payoffs, and this seems like a really good one. And I'm hoping I'm going to wheel one of the 2 counter spells, or a dual land or Strixhaven Sky Coach, or one of the good Simic cards, a dual land or Cuboid Colony, that kind of thing. There's just, or Sleight of Hand even, given how these last packs have been going. There's just a lot to wheel here. So I'm hoping that's what's going to happen. Here, I could take Barrage Barrage. I might be like, I feel like I'm passing this card too much. As I'm doing this, I'm really feeling like I'm passing this too much. I only have like 1 run behind, Homesickness. I don't have that much removal going on. So maybe I take it here, but to be quite honest, I kind of just want the Pestbrood Sloth. Studious First Year, turn 1, turn 2, Rampant Growth, turn 3, Sloth is just kind of a disgusting curve out. I want more good things to do on turn 4. I want turn 4 to be the turn when I am just slamming stats on the board. And wow, what another pack here. We have Quandrix Charm, Brush Off, we have Noxious Newt, we have Paradox Gardens. I'm going to take the Newt. I think the Newt is pretty much everything I'm looking for. Maybe I'm supposed to take Paradox Gardens here to make it easier for me to play more other basic lands, which is really important with Studious First Year, Shared Roots, and Terramorphic Expanse. I'm going to be running one of every basic. But I really like the idea of just ramping up, you know? I really like the idea of treating this as a ramp deck. I don't know, but maybe I'm not supposed to. Maybe that's not really what Converge is about. Okay, I kind of just want to take another Paradox Surveyor. I mean, Potioner's Trove is interesting because it lets you add a pip no matter where you're at. No matter what lanes you have, this lets you add a pip unless you already have all 5. But isn't Paradox Surveyor just a better 3-drop that fixes your mana? I kind of think so. And now here we get a Fractal Tender, Cuboid Colony, Diary of Dreams, Procrastinate. We're just feasting here. If this deck ends up losing, if this does not go well, it's because I didn't really know what to prioritize, not because of any deficiency in reading signals or the quality of cards that were passed to me. There have been like 10 different decision points. So this will be an interesting one to go back over if I do end up getting destroyed. Oh, a resonating loot. But instants and sorceries. Instants and sorceries are the only ones that you can tap it for. And I don't have any instants or sorceries with Converge other than Snarl Song. Oh, this seems so good though, but I don't, it doesn't work with most of my Converge creatures. So I'm just going to take another Converge payoff. One issue, actually, do I just take Run Behind? I have so little interaction. I think I'm going to take the Run Behind. I have no idea what I was supposed to do there. Another Homesickness seems pretty good. Make my Exhibition, do I want to run 2 Homesicknesses though? It does make my Exhibition Tide Caller better. I think I want it more than a Landscape Painter, more than Quick Study, more than Barrage, and yeah, probably more than Potioner's Trove now that I have triple Paradox Surveyor, Terramorphic Expanse. I just have better things to do than that. So yeah, I guess I'll just take the Homesickness. I'm going to have some tough cuts. Happily take a Terramorphic Expanse. I wouldn't hate the Shopkeeper's Bane. Actually, I kind of would, because I'm playing a much more defensive game plan. I was right. We wield Cuboid Colony, Sleight of Hand, and Mana Sculpt. What do I even do here? I guess I'll take the Cuboid Colony. I guess so, and I'm probably going to cut some of my worst 2-drops now. Probably just cut a Visionary's Dance out of this pack. I mean, we were just feasting, absolutely feasting. I have no idea if I played this right. Honestly, I don't even have that much Converge going on. I don't even have that much Converge, but I think we have enough 6-mana payoffs and so forth. Maybe I do play the Visionary's Dance, take another Paradox Gardens. I mean, once again, I considered 4th picking each of these cards. Maybe I'm underestimating Quandrix Charm. Yeah, let's take the... I'm going to take another Visionary's Dance, actually, because it's good in the early game. It's good in the late game. I guess I'll take Forum of Amity. No, I don't want duels that don't overlap with my main colors, do I? So I'll take the dual land. I mean, yeah, maybe I do want that. I may not end up playing it. But yeah, wow, what a wacky situation. So I do have 4 Converge payoffs. So I do still think it's worth playing Converge. Maybe I should have taken 1 more Converge payoff. I really don't want to play 2 black-white duels. So maybe I go for... I kind of don't want to play any of these black-white duels, actually. Now that I think about it with a little bit more time on the clock. I think... Let's just go. So this is 7, 8, 9, 14, 15, 16, 17. I'm only starting out with 6 forests. So I think I want to go... maybe down 1 or 2 on islands because I can fix into my blue. I think I'm going to cut the planar engineering because it's not that kind of a Converge deck. And do I want double Visionary's Dance? Maybe just 1. And then would I want to Terrafractal? So maybe my Geometer's Arthropod didn't get there. I have essentially no X spells. Yeah, unfortunately, the Arthropod did not get there. I guess that's why that card is not playing out so great. So we're really just playing a ramp deck, trying to ramp into 4 and really ramp into 5. Yeah, I should have taken one more Rancorous Archaic, I think would have been good. So how important is it that I have all of those different colors of pips? Maybe I only play like one other, maybe I just don't play a Plains or something. Nah, because it turns Snarl Song into such a powerful win condition. If you can Snarl Song for 5, which I think should be pretty easy for my deck. So I have 2 Terramorphic Expanses. I have 3 Paradox Surveyors, Shared Roots, Studious First Year. Yeah, I like it. I think I like the deck. It looks super fun. I love playing Simic. I guess maybe I do actually cut the Visionary's Dance in the end. You know what? Actually, I think I'll cut the Fractal Tender because there aren't even that many ways. Well, I have a good number of ways to increment it, I guess, but I think I just have better things to do at that mana value. Like it's a Terrafractal belongs over here. All right, yeah, it looks super fun. Let's try it out. Starting hand is awesome. This is all I want to be doing in Magic cards ever, basically. So I wish I did have a few more cards with X in their costs, but it's a bit of a, you know, it's a bit of a constraint because I think they just didn't print amazing cards with X in their cost in this set, that many of them. Okay, so now we get a Rampant Growth. I'm going to growth into... It actually might be good to Rampant Growth into a Forest. Because I really want to play Paradox Surveyor on 3. So, oh, this deck is awesome. I don't know if it's going to win, but this is how I like to play Magic. This is an unlimited splash, my friends. I'll attack with the Studious First here. It cannot block the Barog Banemaker because they can always attack with the Banemaker before combat. And then they have the, before playing their other spell, and then they have the threat of activation. Okay, so I'll go ahead and play Paradox Surveyor, which is kind of nice against Abigail. And yeah, why not take... I guess I could take Terramorphic just to do some deck thinning here, because I'm not going to play anything. So I'll go ahead and do this, crack it, and I'll go get, yeah, a Swamp, let's say. There's no reason to prefer any other color, right? Yeah, so I'll just grab a Swamp. For Converge purposes, of course, and then we're actually on all of our colors, so that's cool. All right, so you become prepared, but I don't think you get to attack. They could have cheated in an attack with the Barog Banemaker. I want to call that out. If they'd attacked with the Banemaker, I had no block. Because if I block with the Studious First here, they could pump it. I guess from their perspective, maybe they just wouldn't want to pump it. So maybe I could call their bluff there. So do I just play a Wildgrowth Archaic rather than slapping down the Snarl Song here? I mean, the Shared Roots here. That sounds right. So I'm going to tap, 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 and tap for Wildgrowth Archaic. And I want to spend 2 and 2. Technically, I could attack with Paradox Surveyor first, but that doesn't really sound worth doing. No attacks and end. Hopefully they don't kill my Wildgrowth Archaic, but if they do, at least it's, you know, a removal spell that doesn't hit my Paradox Surveyor. Wait, do I not have white? Oh yeah, no, I'm not yet on all of my colors. So next turn, I'll probably Shared Roots for that last color. And then I can Snarl Song for 2 5/5s. Oh, or I can play a Rancorous Archaic. That's kind of cool. But I think let's go green, green, Shared Roots. I'm going to be greedy here. I like greed when I'm playing a deck like this. I think we should squeeze these lemons for every last drop. Next, I can't attack. If I can get them to double block, then I could run behind something. But the issue is they can always just block with a Barog Banemaker. Well, actually, they have 2 Death Touchers. But also, I'm hoping they can't attack. If they do attempt to, I do have a run behind. So now I can make 2 incredibly giant creatures, hopefully. I guess not playing the Rancorous Archaic did give them a turn to kind of blow me out a little bit by killing my Wildgrowth Archaic, but it's not like I'm counting that much on that card if they have a removal spell. 2 5/5s is not that different from 2 10/10s or whatever I'm about to make. Don't quote me on that. My brain is processing a lot right now in terms of making sure I handle this combat step correctly. You know, I actually, no, that's fine, that's fine. I was going to say maybe I was not supposed to pass through that, but the thing is they got their cast trigger no matter what, so their repartee trigger. I'm sorry, someone actually told me, I got a comment from someone who said that it's wrong of me to call it repartee because it's a word that is borrowed from French, and I'm pronouncing it too much like an English word. So from now on, I will be calling it repartie. A repartie trigger. I'm from Canada, so I can speak really French if you want me to. All right, Snarl Song. Okay, so this is when you cast. Okay, rats. Yeah, I was thinking, the reason I said don't quote me on that is I was processing in the back of my mind. This seems like it's not going to put the counters on it, but I was just trying to make sure I blocked everything correctly. Okay, so I'll attack with a Paradox Surveyor here, probably. I guess I should have done that before combat. But I'm going to make a really big Rancorous Archaic next turn. I don't want to risk my Wildgrowth Archaic in combat. Yeah, I should have attacked before making the fractals, but okay. My opponent had enough. They said my repartie triggers are not going to do it this time. So we are now 1-0 with my first ever Converge deck. All right. À la prochaine, on to the next one. Hopefully it's not another crushingly good repartie deck. I tease with love. No respect to my dear French friends. I study your language for many a year. I have a great fondness for it. All right. But you give feedback and hey, you can't say I'm not responsive. Yay, Exhibition Tide Color. That's all I ever want to do. That's all I ever want to do. Okay, I'm going to hold this Exhibition Tide Color until the very end of the game. My opponent is doing exactly the same thing I'm doing, so we're living the same dream over here. Pretty good stuff. All right. Either they're salty, grindy awesomeness, or we are both converging it up. Oh, applied geometry copying paradox surveyor. Applied geometry copying exhibition tide caller. Are you kidding me? That's what I want to do. The only issue with that idea, applied geometry copying exhibition tide caller, the only issue is you're leaving yourself open. You would need to have like 10 mana for this and then another 5 mana to double trigger Opus. But if you're copying it, you get a 6/6 exhibition tide caller. They need 2 pretty good removal spells. Okay, I want more mana, more different colors, and I want untapped lands specifically, because I want to go applied geometry next turn probably, as much as it would be awesome to apply geometry and exhibition tide caller. Actually, do I just want to do that? Well, I want to have a play next turn. So yeah, I was gonna say, depends on what I draw. You could have Essence Scatter. I did somehow just like blanked that you have a Manolith over there. But okay, yeah, I'll take a Paradox Gardens, play it tapped, and the next turn I can go Exhibition Tide Caller into Applied Geometry. Again, I keep somehow getting so excited about my deck that I forget to attack before playing my stuff. Okay, Cuboid Colony. That could be annoying. I do have double reach creatures and another reach creature on the way though, so hopefully not too terrible for me. So hold on. So what I can do is, we'll see if they have removal. I kind of really want to bait their removal, because I can go Exhibition Tide Caller, copy my Exhibition Tide Caller, then the following turn play a Snarl Song, double mill them for 20, double mill them for 10, aka mill them for 20, and they're helpfully thinning out their deck as well. So we'll see. Maybe, hopefully this red didn't just fix them into their removal. We shall see. Worst case scenario, this gives me a 6/6, but I think it is worth doing. Actually, I think it is worth doing. And the reason is, I'm not going to wait until I have 10 mana, right? That's just ridiculous. You're not legendary, are you? I don't want to wait until I have 10 mana. Yes, I get to mill them 3, but not mill them 10. All right, so now you have a 6/6 Exhibition Tide Caller. That's pretty cool. And then next turn, if I get to have these guys live, then I can Snarl Song. The thing is, if they just have like a Betrayal, Run Behind, really any removal at all, this is not going to be a win condition because I only get to mill them 10 once, unless I manage to draw like Homesickness off the top. This does set me up to have a draw that's just an auto kill. But the thing is, now they do have 2 to deal with. So now I get to Snarl Song for a bunch, gain a bunch of life, right? I'll go ahead and just block the 3/2. I don't really care. Actually, do I just take it because I want to be able to double block Cuboid Colony? That's probably correct. I'm going to play a big reach creature later anyways, so... Oh, and hi, Terrafractal. All right, so I'll go ahead and play Snarl Song for 4 different colors. Oh, that's pretty good, sure. 2 4/4s mill you for 10. I don't hate it. I do wish that I had another instant or sorcery to back this up with. What did we get into their graveyard? Their own Exhibition Tide Caller. That's so funny. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I ripped it off prematurely, but it gave me a lot of outs to do pretty sickening stuff. And now if I draw Homesickness, I just win, unless they have another removal spell. Draw 3. Also, yeah, every instant or sorcery now, even if it's not triggering Opus, is still gonna, like, accelerate them towards their demise, right? Also, they could just deck out, right? Like, I'm gonna have some pretty good blockers here. I have a pretty good life total. Okay, at this point, I think I am actually gonna block, because I'm about to play a huge Terrafractal, which is gonna block the Cuboid Colony. And this Cuboid Colony is probably not getting much bigger. Oh, now you show up Swamp. So actually, you're gonna get... Terrafractal is gonna get better as time goes on, but now Rancorous Archaic is as good as it's gonna get. So why don't I just make a 7/7 reach? And I don't have attacks. They probably can't attack. I would really like to draw an instant or sorcery now. That would be ideal. All right, our deck is just crushing. Knock on wood. Diamond tier 2, yeah. I have played so many Winnaboxes and done a bunch of data videos and stuff. I'm not usually much of like a arena rank grinder or whatever. I get to Mythic like most seasons, but some seasons like this I get pretty close. But I do have another 2 days or something, so I might just run a few extra drafts just to cross over that finish line. We'll see. But the thing is, there's no reward for reaching Mythic that you don't get for reaching Diamond already. or it's like an extra wild card or something. Okay, I'll keep it. Not totally ideal because the Studious First Year doesn't really get to do its thing, but I don't think you throw this hand back. I think that would be pretty greedy in this deck. Oh, hi, Harmonized Trio. I wish I could draw my Harmonized Trio. That would be nice. All right, away goes Terramorphic Expanse. Get me a Forest. Yeah, not totally sure how to make this work. So we're playing against, is it aggro, it looks like? I don't like the idea of them brainstorming every turn, I'll tell you that much. All right, so I'm gonna play Terramorphic Expanse. I'll just run out the Studious First here, and then I'll throw the Expanse in for, let's just get a, so I have my planes. I have some double pips. I have actually a lot of blue double pips. So maybe I actually do get a blue and not get greedy here. Basically, like, Wildgrowth Archaic's coming down turn 4, then turn 5. I'm going to get to, like, Rampant Growth before all of that anyways. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get an island. I think that's the responsible thing to do. I'm a highly responsible drafter, as you all know. Ooh, Jeskai spells. Jadzi. Oh, my goodness. Hitting me with the Harmonized Trio into Jadzi? You're just getting all the card selection. Darn it. Okay, well, Brush Off seems pretty important in this matchup, but I still think I just play Rampant Growth next turn. Ooh, ripping a Paradox Surveyor off the top. Okay. Well, that's definitely what I'm going to play. We're hanging in here. We're hanging in here. Right? I'm definitely just going to play the Paradox Surveyor. So it's a good thing I got that second blue. That was just good intuition, I'd say. You don't have, okay, what you have is you can brainstorm. Well, you can't cast brainstorm because you have to tap your hydro channeler to do it. All right, putting some cards on the bottom that I'm not too scared about losing access to. Yeah, I'd say this is going awkwardly, but the opponent hasn't shown me anything to be scared of yet. They're just setting up a lot, but they're setting up a lot. That's the thing about that. All right, down comes a mountain and Campus Composer. Okay, so that's the rub. All right, well, I assume there's going to be a bunch of removal coming the way of things that I put in the way of that, but I better start putting things in the way of that, if you know what I mean. So here, I'm just going to play a Plains. I am going to get a Swamp. Mountain. Mountain's more important because I actually have a red spell. So I'll get the Mountain, and then I'm just holding up Brush Off. And then next turn I can play Snarl Song if I want to for 4. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. Brainstorm you may cast, and then they get to put another Brainstorm into their hand. No, that's kind of cracked. But basically for the Aqueous Aria, if that's what they do next turn, I'll brush them off. And then I do have Homesickness, which is kind of nice. Although I can't really target the Campus Composer with that. I don't know. I have a lot of good stuff in my hand. I just need to get it out of my hand. And I am ramping, so that helps. All right, down goes Brainstorm. Make another Brainstorm. I'm so jealous. I wish I were you, Zombie Jesus. All right. Are we going to get an Aqueous Aria? They can do it even if they don't have a land because they have the Hydro Channeler, but they also have a land. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the turn is just Brainstorm, make a Brainstorm, Aqueous Aria. So I'm going to counter that. I don't really want you having an extra 3/3. Technically, they just got a 2-for-1 off of me, but my problem is not cards, number of cards. My problem is getting the cards in my hand out of my hand. That's my issue. Thankfully, they do not now have up a Essence Scatter because they already played their land for the turn. They only have 1 mana up, but they can Brainstorm. But eventually Brainstorm starts getting worse because you keep looking at the same cards over and over again, especially in Premier Draft where you don't have... Part of what makes Brainstorm so good is fetch lands, right? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm going to do this for 4, which is, I think, the most you can do it for, right? So it's worth just doing right now. I want to play this and set up a good next turn over just landing like an Archaic or something. I think playing a truly massive Archaic seems kind of sweet, and this is a natural moment to just play my Paradox Gardens. I'm only losing 1 island, even though I keep saying, like, my big problem right now is getting cards out of my hand. I still think making sure that these creatures are big when they come down is really worth doing. So this isn't really draw 3 right now because these are cards that they've already decided to put out of their hand. unless they show me a way of shuffling, I'm not too afraid of Brainstorm. By the way, that's kind of why like Studious First Year is really good in a deck with this guy, is you can just shuffle away. If you save up your Rampant Growth, you like draw him late, you can shuffle away the cards that you don't want to draw. That's what makes Brainstorm good, is when you can do that. All right, enough said. You get a Brainstorm, and it's your turn now. Oh, their deck is so awesome. Their deck is so awesome. I'm genuinely jealous. They're doing everything I want to be doing, honestly. No, don't kill my Archaic. How could you? Are you kidding me? All right. Well, so whatever I said last turn is not really relevant. Oh, they probably just picked this off the top, though, because they've just had infinite card selection. Snap block. There's just no reason not to block that as far as I can tell. What combat trick is there for 2 blue? They could Banishing Betrayal one of my cards, but they really don't want to bounce either of those cards, I don't think. That would be perfectly fine. I would end up positive in value, I'm pretty sure, from that transaction. Okay, let's go ahead and just play a Colossal Rancorous Archaic. I guess the one thing I have to think about with that is, would they just Essence Scatter it? I could save the Snarl Song to mill them out, but that sounds a little greedy, especially when I also have a Homesickness. Although I guess if they have Spell Pierce, I'd rather play Rancorous Archaic. So do I think they're more likely to have Spell Pierce here or Essence Scatter? Well, if they have Spell Pierce, that means I get to resolve my Homesickness, so them hanging here doesn't mean anything because they have a Brainstorm and this priority for this reason. Tapping their thing to make a Brainstorm. So, okay. You can keep brainstorming about this situation. That's fine. I mean, it's not fine. It's actually very bad for me, but I can't do anything about it, so I have to accept it. You have to accept what you can't control in life. And my opponent can control everything. They have the ultimate control deck, pretty much. Make another Brainstorm. I'm just chilling. My opponent is doing 95% of the game actions here. While we're doing this, and especially while my opponent, my opponent thinks, and while I'm 2-0 in the event, let me say, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel on YouTube, I do post a new draft video every day, really focused on getting better at Limited together every single day. Being better tomorrow than we are today, better the next day than we will be tomorrow. I post a bunch of data deep dive videos where I show you specifically right before Arena Direct weekend, which we're going to have this weekend. I show you things like, how is sealed different from draft? If you draft a lot or even just a little, but don't really play sealed, you might approach Arena Direct with rather incorrect card evaluations because cards are better in sealed than they are in draft and vice versa. So I do recommend making sure that you're subscribed to my channel on YouTube. I normally wouldn't do that in the middle of a game, but I mean, they just played a Sky Coach and an Elemental Mascot. That my opponent's doing exactly what they should be doing, which is to say very little, because they're a control deck, and I'm the one who has to prove what the heck I'm doing and why. So here, speaking of proving what I'm doing and why, I'm just going to try to put the pressure on by swinging in for 8. They have some pretty sweet blocks, and I have no interaction that I care to play right now, and they've had a million years of card selection, so all right, but they just took it, which I guess I'm a little surprised by, but I kind of thought they might do. Because I had so much mana open in so many different colors, lining up big blocks there is a little risky when they're tapped down, because I might have any manner of interaction. And I'm guessing they might have interaction. What that tells me is maybe they have interaction in their hand. They're kind of guessing that things are going to change in the future. But from my perspective, I have to start getting damage through because my opponent is like about to Oracle's Gift for 1 trillion. How many elementals do they have? 1 elemental. So this will get counters from the Oracle's Gift. But yeah, this Harmonized Trio has been an issue. I guess I did underdraft interaction. I kind of thought I might, but also, I don't know. This comes down on turn 1. And I also needed to hit all of my colors. Okay. This card multiplies the duration of any game it's in by like 5. Honestly, half of the time of this draft video is just my opponent deciding what to put back on their deck with Brainstorm. And they're not even being that slow. They're actually being pretty fast. And I don't mean half the time of this game. I mean half the time of this draft video. Okay, so we've pretty much lost, but I could go homesickness into homesickness, I guess. I'm definitely just going to homesickness and attack them and see what I find. That's a little bit unfortunate. So I'm going to go tap, 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 tap. Homesickness. I'm going to draw 2, thank you. I don't even know why it would give me this decision. Now they're going to crew their Strixhaven Skycoach with one of the 4/4s that I'm tapping down, so go ahead and do that, please. They did not do it. Well, that's mysterious to me. Unfortunate that I draw a run behind, which can't bounce a blocker. But I definitely think I still just attack with everything. I can bounce my own attacker. That's funny. Thank you for the offer. Okay. Yeah, this is a little unfortunate. So like Jadzi and the Skycoach can block a 4/4. This can block a 4/4. They take 6. And essentially nothing gets through. 6 damage gets through, but not enough that I'm like about to kill them. Okay, so they're trading all the 4/4s down, some of the 4/4s down. Yeah, let's do it like that. I wish I had more removal. That's like definitely a lesson from this draft. I am definitely drawing a lot of lands and not that much to do with them, which is a deck construction issue. That's like an issue with ramp decks. Hope Slinger or Hope Singer. So basically, if I can draw the deck them for 10, that would be an out. But the problem is I also need things to trigger Opus with. 6 damage to Rancorous Archaic. And you put a counter because of the Hope Singer, but you didn't crew the Skycoach first, so it doesn't get a counter. Sure. Now, do I bounce the mascot? Probably not. I'll just take whatever this is. Okay. Another run behind. I guess I'll keep playing. I mean, it's almost over. It's over, right? So you get 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So they're actually representing lethal on the board if they can crew it up, which they can with the Solus. Okay. All right. I'll give it to them. I was in such a cheery mood, and then we spent 20 minutes watching someone brainstorm. I think I'm going to go to bed and continue this video tomorrow. Good game to my opponent, but brainstorm is a card. All right. See you folks tomorrow. All right. I'm back. I'm tomorrow. I'm refreshed. Unfortunately, my audio settings kind of glitched out in a way I've never even seen before. And I did miss the last game, and I also lost it largely because I was messing around with my audio settings so much to try to capture some of it. So we were unfortunately 2-2. Not much of interest happened last game. It was just a Golgari aggro deck that was able to capitalize on me not searching for the right lands while clicking on a bunch of microphone settings. So, all right, so now we definitely have our back against the wall. 2-2. We've got to win 2 more matches without dropping 1 in order to recover our gems here. Will this hand do it? I'm very inclined to keep it because I can grab a forest turn 1, play a swamp and get an island, grab something else and play a Wildgrowth Archaic, and hopefully meanwhile I'm drawing good stuff. And I have Exhibition Tidecaller as a win condition. So yeah, I'm inclined to do it. All right, snap up a forest. Oh, Newt. Would I rather a Newt than a Shared Roots? Probably not. I think I'd probably rather Shared Roots here. I'll definitely be getting an island. Kind of nice to have the Newt, I think. A Diary of Dreams. Okay, so I'm not going to beat them with creatures. It's also a little worrisome that we will not be able to beat them with Exhibition Tidecaller triggers either. But let's see how this goes. All right, so Mountain is always preferred. I guess I could just play the Tidecaller right now, but I'd rather try to take them by surprise with that. Okay, good. So they're more of like a tempo deck. Okay, this is kind of cool. So can I go Cuboid Colony into Wildgrowth Archaic? Yeah, and I get all the counters on the Archaic. And I would rather play the Archaic first. So here's how I do this. So I'm going to go tap, 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 tap to play Archaic for generic. Yeah, I do think playing the Archaic first is worth one more counter. Oh, I could have done that as a flash creature, as a 3/3. No, that was silly of me. I sequenced it correctly, but I got the timing wrong. Not my bad. I maybe could have eaten an encouraging aviator, but the thing is, this has reach anyways, so if they'd removed it, I would have had to play this first, so I don't think that we could have. I could just run behind the Sky Whale and get aggro with it. That kind of sounds good, doesn't it? So what I do is I play the Paradox Surveyor, tap like this, keeping a blue open for run behind, try to hit an untapped land. This is a 5/5. If I do hit an untapped land, and I think I prefer probably another... Oh, both of my homesicknesses are going to the bottom. Still, I probably prefer the blue, actually. Play this, and we're going to put this on top, increment my cuboid colony, and then smash in for 8. And I don't know if that's winning, but it's at least got to put them on the back foot, right? Oh, they put it on top. That's very scary. You don't want to see your opponent putting things like that on top of their deck, because this is a claim that they have something that will deal with all of this, basically, because the Sky Whale won't. Oh, or maybe their plan is just survive for another turn, which is very possible that they can do, and then the Sky Whale gets to get a bunch of counters. But I almost have a lethal attack then, unless it's like Sky Whale into Stress Streams. I guess that would make sense as a plan. Artistic process on the Archaic. Okay, I don't mind that at all. Now I'm very surprised that they put the Sky Whale on top. Oh, Harmonized Trio. Okay, I like that. So what I'm going to do is attack, attack. Then I'll play Harmonized Trio. Oh, you know what? I should have attacked with the Newt because I can't even do this. I'm just misplaying left, right, and center. I can't even do this turn. So that makes me want to hold the Exhibition Tidecaller, which means I should have gone in for an extra damage. I thought I was holding this back because I can tap 3 untapped creatures to get a Brainstorm, but it's not that at all. It's tap and tap 2 untapped creatures, so you can't do it when this thing is summoning sick. Okay, so they don't get the counters. That feels good for me. Dang, I wish I had them at 2, not 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's Brainstorm immediately. Maybe it's better to be more aggressive, but I kind of like the idea of just brainstorming. Oh, and I can mill them. That's cool. I don't know if I even really want to give them the flashback, but it's probably good to just get towards another win condition. Oh, that's kind of cool. So I'll put back... Sure, these two... I think Applied Geometry on Paradox Surveyor is going to be good. So I'll put these back. I want to put on the top the Terrafractal. Apply Geometry on the Paradox Surveyor. It does mean I don't get back those 2 cards, and that's probably just fine. Yeah, I guess I might as well do this now. I guess I could apply Geometry on the Tidecaller. That could be fun. Okay, I did give them a free Tome Blast. Yeah, I was thinking about that milling them might not be the best, but... Okay, so I do at least get my Terrafractal back. But if their plan is to flashback a Tome Blast... I think I'm winning. I think I would be winning in that case. I gave them some virtual card advantage, but I also accelerated myself towards a potential win condition, so I'm not feeling too bad about that. Unless this is a board wipe. All right, flashing back a Tome Blast. That's just fine. You do get some counters. I admit it. And draw card. Okay. So they're dead on board. Okay. All right. GG. 3 and 2, on to the next one. I really want to win the next one because that's making my gems back. Rats, not a keepable hand at all. One more forest and it would be. Oh, no way. Well, definitely my splash is punishing me now, so we're down to 5. Dang, kind of wish I hadn't given up a game to microphone issues. Okay. Put these 2 back, I guess? I don't know, maybe I want the Terrafractal just to have something to do, put back run behind, even though that means no interaction. All right, well, this might be a fast one. Going for a blue. Yeah, this was a bit of a cursed draft, I guess. Well, I get my run behind back. Here I'll go for it has to be a green or a blue, so make it a blue probably, because I have all these double blue pips. Paradox Surveyor can only hit a land because Terrafractal is already in my hand. Okay, another Paradox Surveyor. I guess I don't hate the value. Oh, you're going to Essence Scatter me. Yeah, hard to see me getting out of this one with a win. Oh, I mean, you know, that's the thing about 3-color decks. Sometimes you just mulligan to 5 and not too much you can do after that. Okay, so we're teamer value of some kind. Interesting. All right. I'll take the mountain. I guess those were pretty good cards to not draw, maybe? All right, well, at least I'm asking them to have 2 answers to things, I guess, or 2 creatures. I'm not doing nothing. I am playing to the board, so it could be worse. Landscape Painter. Yeah, that card's pretty good. I almost feel like I should just run behind that guy. Although tempo is not so great when you aren't representing any threats on the board. Wow. And they have the answer. Yeah, the fact that my deck has like essentially 0 interaction is a bit of an issue for me. I could hold this so that it's out of range of the 1 mana deal 3 or another Vibrant Outburst, but now that they just use their Vibrant Outburst, I feel like let's just play it out. I think for me to win this game, everything kind of has to go perfectly from here. So let's just give things an opportunity to go perfectly. That's my thinking. Now I could Homesickness right now to make sure that I resolve it, but I think chances are equally good that they're just going to play like a chunky reach creature because I now have double green out. So I think I'd rather have the opportunity to stun something, get maximum value. Okay, yeah, or a flyer. Get maximum value out of my Homesickness. All right. So I'll let you do that before you have the information about me homesicknessing. Okay, pitching 2 lands. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, they hadn't played a land for the turn yet. All right, now I will tap your stuff down. So target me, target your creatures. Oh, you do have a treasure token. So they could Spell Pierce. It's just worth being aware of. Doesn't look like a deck that's running Spell Pierce, but it could be. They have it? No, okay. Okay, all right. That's something. Hey, Snarl Song. Hey there. So I can go Tidecaller into Archaic. Okay. Again, I think I just run everything out there. I think I'm just going to try to put maximum threats on the board. Just give them every opportunity to lose the game and ask them to find ways to win it. I mean, that was an amazing draw. Even if they kill the Tidecaller here, it's the stats that are now their primary issue. That was an amazing Homesickness, but obviously there are many, many answers that they could have from here. Okay, popping down a Forest. Splatter Technique, okay. And then do you have a way of dealing 2? No way. Unfortunate. Oh, you do because of Tome Blast. Wow. Unfortunate that I don't get the Snarl Song with the Tidecaller out, but I still think Snarl Song for 4 is pretty good on an empty board. And then Cuboid Colony can do some damage. Might even have been worth playing the Cuboid Colony, run behinding something, and then Snarl Songing, but I think playing 2 4/4s right after they played their board wipe of deal 4 to everything sounds pretty good to me. Next turn I can Cuboid Colony and bounce a blocker. Okay, all right. We're just 1-for-1ing for days. Well, the last one was a multiple for 1, but just don't have a betrayal, please. Okay, actually now I have a counterspell for that. That feels pretty good. So essentially anything they play is getting countered or bounced here. All right. I mean, we have protection for our token. This is a scrappy multi-5. All right, well, I'll attempt a Cuboid Colony. I can brush off an instant or sorcery, but not a creature now. And I will, because free increment. Yeah, this is a sorcery, so you cannot play that. All right, in for 5. Not worth playing the Harmonized Trio before combat. It does look like they have something. Flashback, you say. So let's let you flash that back and then commit the mana, and then I was going to brush it off. But also, this doesn't override timing, so they just attempted to flash back a sorcery, and then I think would not have been able to cast it, unless I'm misunderstanding something. Pretty sure they couldn't have cast it. Okay, well, anyways, hey, 4-3 or 4-2, I'll take it. If I can win another one, I make a gem profit. Giving up a 1-game, you know, advantage to the field. Voluntarily, essentially playing this draft with 2 losses knocking me out instead of 3 because I was so focused. What happened in that draft that I didn't capture is I was spending so much time working on my microphone settings to try to capture it. I had a studious first year I had a paradox surveyor, I mean. And yeah, I did have a studious first year. I had 2 green and I rampant growth for a red because I had the blue-green tap land in my hand. And I was like 95% focused on the microphone. And that meant that I could not turn 3 my paradox surveyor, and they just outraced me. If I had been able to turn 3 the paradox surveyor, then turn 4 I would have played another paradox surveyor, gotten my mana under me. They may very well have still won, of course, but I just completely gave the game up by screwing up my mana like that. So here there actually is a question about, do I play the mountain and rampant growth even though it means I can't play the paradox surveyor? Or do I just play paradox gardens? But then I would still need to draw a forest or an island in order to play the surveyor turn 4. So I don't think so. Oh, yes. Okay, so that's nice. What that means is I can play the mountain, rampant growth into an island. Then next turn, I can play the surveyor if I want to. Or I can just apply geometry my studious first year. So this sounds right to me. Go ahead and get an island. Attack. Okay, I think I handled everything right here. And then I can just apply geometry studious first here and get a 6/6 on turn 4, which is usually pretty good. And then the next turn, potentially I could paradox surveyor and rampant growth again, although that doesn't sound too amazing. Okay, I think I actually don't want to apply geometry just yet, because if they have a kill spell like Last Gasp, it's an absolute blowout. You can apply geometry a land. Well, maybe I just apply geometry a land, actually. But, well, how good is the Ender's Trigger on Paradox Surveyor? It's pretty good in my deck, right? Okay, so I guess I'll save this for a turn. So I'll go ahead and play a land, play Paradox Surveyor. It's a little bit slow, like not taking advantage of my speed. Oof, that's a lot of good cards to put on the bottom. All right. But I get an extra Enter's effect out of it. And I don't risk a blowout. Copying a land is kind of a cool idea, but I think it was not exactly the moment for that. Okay, so let's start by copying Paradox Surveyor while they're tapped down. Get another Enter's Trigger. I get a Terrafractal. Okay, good. That's exactly what I was hoping. I really wanted to get value out of that. In with the 3/3. And then I think I'm going to go for white. All right, and we have a lot of good draws here. Homesickness is really nice as well. Yeah, I was wondering if they would have a kill spell. If not, things are looking pretty good for me. So I'll play my other blue, target myself, stun your stuff, and I'm just going aggro with it. This lets me crack in for 10. And then we have a big flyer coming down. They didn't seem to have a removal spell. If they had grapple with death or whatever, then I assume they would have killed the 6/6. Yeah, all right. Very nice. 5 wins. Cool. All right, 5 and 2. On to the next one. Pretty awkward hand. I think I'm going to have to mull this one. I mean, technically, I could just try to... I need to draw 2 different sources to hit my Paradox Surveyor. Yeah, no. Let's mulligan that. This is a much better hand, right? This is a much better hand. This is actually a really good hand. Basically, I'm going to go Noxious Newt on 2. So, like, Terramorphic Expanse... Yeah, I think this is good. I mean, maybe putting back the Terrafractal is wrong, I'm not sure. But Terramorphic Expanse going for a green. Noxious Newt on 2. Apply Geometry on 3. Maybe making a 6/6 Death Toucher. Down comes Spirit Mascot, okay. Alright. Noxious Newt. Okay, maybe I can't apply Geometry on 3. I do need to draw an untapped mana. Okay, or you have a Tome Blast. That's a little annoying, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world if I just play a Cuboid Colony. So here I do have to get, I guess it must be a blue. Oh, that's really unfortunate. I would have liked to hit Apply Geometry, but hey, now I can go Cuboid Colony, Apply Geometry my Cuboid Colony. That sounds pretty good if I can just draw an untap land. And if they don't have a removal spell here for Cuboid Colony. All right, they don't have a way of activating the mascot. Looks like a Boros aggro deck. Looks very aggressive, doesn't it? Oh, it's discarding Tome Blast for value. Okay, never mind. It's a control deck. No, that's cool. That's cool. All right, so let's apply Geometry, the Cuboid Colony, while they're essentially tapped down. Increment, make a 6/6. I guess Cuboid Colony is kind of anti-synergy with Increment is anti-synergy with Applied Geometry. Oh, ouch. Okay, that's annoying. It's annoying that you have that. Well, I wasn't really counting on that guy, because now I can go Paradox Surveyor, still incrementing my Cuboid Colony. Paradox Surveyor lines up pretty nicely, because I can block a bunch of their stuff. So I'm going to go tap, tap, tap to play the Surveyor. Increment. Oh, Doe, what am I doing? That was funny. Kind of blanked on that requires a green. It's not all hybrid. Okay, but having said that, that's okay. It's not like I had plans for those lands. I'm going to get, I mean, I wouldn't hate that Terrafractal, but I definitely think I just grab this guy, play it, run this guy out. Yeah, we might as well just do this now, even though I'm missing the second green to actually Rampant Growth this turn. Would be really nice to Rampant Growth this turn. So now they can flashback a Tome Blast if they want to, but then I'm just going to straight up block Spirit Mascot. What do you do? Tap 3 untapped creatures and copy it. Okay, but you can't... What? What did they just... Oh, they exiled it to put a counter on Spirit Mascot, but then do you have a thing that you can copy? Oh, that's very bad for me. Oh, hey, nice Boros aggro deck. All right. No, I'm toast. I mean, they just had like the perfect lineup. Basically, like aggro combined with a strong, very, very strong high power ceiling card, combined with 2 pieces of premium removal. It's going to be hard for anyone to deal with that. So here I can run behind. The problem is they can just kill any 2 creatures that I play now. Well, that's kind of messed up. I guess I can bounce that thing and Rampant Growth, and then they recast it and attack for 4. I think it's probably better for me to Homesickness. Dang, I was feeling really good about this game. It's just that they had every piece of removal you could want, like specifically Repel Calamity to deal with my 6-power flyer, and then another removal spell to copy with Aziza. Good for them. I mean, they just drafted a great aggro deck. Okay, so I'll let them kill the Studious first here. I think that's correct. So it's very tempting for them to not attack here. Yeah, I think I disagree. If they're going to tap stuff, I think I disagree with this decision. So let's pass through the trigger. Oh, they're not going to... They don't need to tap things because I only have 1 creature. Of course, of course. Okay. Well, let's give them the opportunity to, to totally screw up by tapping it. Would be really funny. All right, but all is not lost for me. So I'm going to draw 2, tap down your 2 larger creatures. I do have a run behind to bounce that Spirit Mascot, but wow, I mean, they totally just... 2 terrible draws because they already dealt with like all my big threats. I guess I could get, I was just about to say Rancorous Archaic, but it's only a 5/5? That sucks. Well, okay, it's hard for them to kill it with Tome Blast, for example. They can flashback a Tome Blast to kill the Harmonized Trio if they want to. Now I have a 5/5 and a run behind. We'll see how many more premium removal spells they have in their deck and are able to draw. Harmonized Trio is pretty good, so I think it makes sense to kill it here. Hoping to bait them into an aggressive attack and then run behinding their Spirit Mascot. Oh, okay. Hi, Exhibition. I don't really want to be milling them, to be quite honest. But I definitely think I at least play it as a blocker. But I'm dead in how many turns to Rebel Rouser? Okay, no, they only have 1 card in their graveyard. All right. Relic Sloth. Sure. Okay. You'll remove something from your graveyard, put a counter on your Spirit Mascot. All right. A cool thing in this set, by the way, is we have Terramorphic Expanse and this kind of super bounce spell. So you can actually Terramorphic. You can bounce their thing with the Terramorphic on the stack and it just gets shuffled in. Oh, that's interesting. They don't want to get something out of their graveyard. I guess they have some flashback trick that they're interested in pulling. All right. This is exactly what I was hoping would happen. Although it might signal that they have a removal spell, but I don't think so. I think they're just doing aggro deck stuff. All right, I'll mill them, even though I know they have flashback and it gives them graveyard value. I think, like, well, the game will not go to milling, but, like, how do I actually win this game? How do I actually win this game is the question. Okay, goodbye to Spirit Mascot. That's kind of cool. All right. I have to not get too low. I guess I could have bounced the Relic Sloth and attacked. I wonder if that was worth doing. I'm just thinking I might be able to snap up a Stone Docent here because they already made a highly aggressive attack. Chances are they might be interested in making another one. I do have a reach creature, but the number of creatures definitely gives me a problem. Can I get a Snarl Song, please? For real? But yeah, them having that Repel Calamity was absolutely clutch. All right. Oh, Visionary Stance. That's actually a rather good one, isn't it? Make 2 3/3s, mill you for 10. It does give you a lot of value in your graveyard, but... All right, mill you for 10. I gave you a bunch of flashback stuff. But again, how am I winning this game? Like, I'm dead in a few turns. The way to win is draw Homesickness and mill them out in one turn, right? I have to set myself up to hit my win condition, even if it gives their aggro plane a little bit more juice. I guess I might be forced to block with the Tidecaller here, but not quite. Block, block, block. I still get a turn. Oh, but now you have a double strike trick. Well, that's okay. I can always just chump block with a 3/3. I don't have to care too much about value. I'm not caring about their life total at all. I just need to keep Exhibition Tidecaller alive and see if I can go for the mill. All right, so chump you. Whoops. Chump you. You don't have... Oh, you do have trample. Double strike and trample. Oh, so they got me. Right? Can put 6 in front of it. I still take 4. Okay, yeah, no, that's a lethal attack. I didn't see double strike and trample. So maybe I was supposed to keep up a run behind? No, I didn't know about the double strike, so I couldn't play around that. Okay, well, I'm happy going 5-2, and I basically gave up a game to streamer problems. I think that's actually a good result for this deck because, to be quite honest, we're looking at a very, you know, it's like a Converge deck where I got a bunch of the payoffs and then it's a very kind of stunted... Sorry, I got a bunch of the enablers and then it's a stunted collection of payoffs, right? My only Converge payoffs were Rancorous Archaic, being able to splash a Visionary Stance, and that's it, pretty much. You could almost count Terrafractal, and Wildgrowth Archaic, and Snarl Song. So I had 4 Converge payoffs and so many Converge enablers. Well, that's not where you want to be. Maybe I should have played the Rapturous Moment. I don't think so. Maybe Procrastinate. Maybe actually Infirmary Healer, like in that game, Infirmary Healer. Nah, Infirmary Healer wouldn't even have been good in that game. Yeah, so someone probably was cutting me on Converge, but hey, I got shipped like Premium Simic, and this just goes to show green-blue can get the job done in this format. So sorry for the little, you know, audio problems and missing a game, but you know what? 5-2, let's say 5-3. Pretty happy with that, given the context. All right, until tomorrow, have tons of fun playing Magic, and don't be afraid to splash.